I feel the need to control everything because I don't trust you. I don't trust you because I don't have faith that you'll actually come through for me. And that's an issue. Hi, beautiful people. Welcome back to another video on my channel. If you're new here, my name is Shamika Faith, also known as Face by Faith. In today's video, as you can see by the title, we're talking about faith. Having faith in Jesus is something that is super important for our individual covenants with him. If you do not have faith in him, you're basically telling him that you're not trusting him in a certain area of your life. And we got to get to the root of that. And I can talk about this because I was here. I had a revelation like, wow, I feel the need to control everything because I don't trust you. I don't trust you because I don't have faith that you'll actually come through for me. And that's an issue. You should not think that the almighty, powerful, sovereign, beautiful, majestic God who can defeat death can't do anything else for you in your life. He has carried you from the womb up until this point, and he can continue to bless you. He can continue to cover you. He can continue to shield you. You just have to actually believe that. And that's what faith is. Faith is believing that Jesus is actually real, that he exists. And faith is believing that when you speak to him and you have conversations with him and you telling him about all your problems, because you're laying your worries at his feet as we're supposed to, you are believing that he is going to make this situation better or your whole entire life better. You have to believe that with your whole chest, with your heart, with your body, and your soul. I think that it takes real life and death situations to occur for you to be like, oh yeah, God really saved me from this. You know, it takes him pulling you out of situations where you didn't belong in for you to say, wow, God, you actually love me. Your hands have always been on me. I have faith that if you could take me out of this and bring me to a bigger blessing, that you can do abundantly more. Now, I'm not going to say that growing your faith happens overnight. I'm not saying that strengthening your faith is such an easy task, but I'm saying as a believer of Jesus, if you know that he is real, you should believe in his works, and you get to know who he is and what he can do by reading his word, because that man is powerful. That man can move mountains. That man can continue to feed nations. Okay, he will keep us safe. He can keep us healthy. If you think about the woman who was bleeding for 12 years and she just touched his garment, she was healed, not because she touched him, but because of her faith. She just knew that if I touch this man, if I lay my hands on him, she didn't even touch his skin, she touched his outfit. That's how glorious and majestic he is. Ooh, I almost said was. Excuse me. That's how glorious and majestic he is. She didn't even have to touch his skin. It was his outfit. And she grabbed it, and she just knew she was going to be saved. That's the type of crazy faith that we need to walk around with. When I read that, that puts that battery in my back. Like, yeah, like I'm unstoppable. I'm anointed. I am covered because my God is that good. Now, faith without works is dead. And to me, that means you can believe all you want, but if you're not putting in the work to get towards that goal, it's dead. God doesn't like any one of his children to be lazy. He actually encourages us to work. And not only having faith in him is important, but we have to actually show him that because we believe that it's going to happen, I'm acting like it's going to happen. I'm putting my foot forward into this area of my life because I know that you're about to bless me. So I need to be prepared. You don't just pray and then sit down. You got to get to work, which is why she was in that crowd chasing Jesus to touch his garment. You see what I'm saying? She put works towards her faith. Scripture displays so many examples of how faith has saved, healed, and helped. Like in Daniel, I'm in chapter 3, and King Nebuchadnezzar had the nerve to tell everyone to bow down to his 90-foot gold statue. And he was saying, I don't care where you're from, what color you are, what language you speak, when you hear these instruments going off, I want you to bow down and worship this gold statue. And if you don't, you'll be going into the burning furnace, right? Cool. So time came for everybody to pray and worship this statue, which is an idol. And there were 3 Jewish boys. They were rolling with Daniel, right? They were in charge of the Babylonian province at this time. Those 3 refused. They did not want to bow down to this statue because they believe in God. In Daniel chapter 3, verse 14, Nebuchadnezzar said to them, "Is it true, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that you are refusing to serve my gods or worship the gold statue that I have set up? I will give you one more chance to bow down and worship the statue I have made when you hear the sound of music instruments. But if you refuse, you will be thrown immediately into the blazing furnace. And then what God will be able to rescue you from my power?" So Nebuchadnezzar said, get with the program or you're dead, right? 16 says, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego replied, "Oh, Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you. If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God whom we serve is able to save us. He will rescue us from your power, your majesty. But even if he doesn't, we want to make it clear that we will never serve your gods or worship the gold statue you have set up." So I'm going to stop right there, because do you understand how crazy it is for you to say, throw us in the fire? I don't even care. And I want to take that back. It's not crazy. It's crazy faith. They just knew that God was going to protect them, that God was going to save them. Their faith is what saves them, because further down, Nebuchadnezzar gets upset and throws them into the fire. And actually, before he throws them in, he made it 7 times hot because of how furious. So he wanted to make an example. And even trying to make an example, 3 of his guards died burning up the furnace, making it hot. The point I'm making is they knew going into that fire that they were going to be covered, because their faith in God was that strong, was that crazy. When you have that type of faith within you, number one, it's because of your closeness and your relationship that is watered with Christ. Number 2, you're fearless. And that fearlessness, because of your faith in God, allows you to feel free. Your life honestly elevates the moment you start to feel free, and you're able to bring a certain type of energy into every room. You're able to bless others in a different way because you're fearless, because you feel free. You're able to finally align with your destiny helpers because you shook off the fear. Maybe you have social anxiety, and because you're because you're fearless, you're able to now speak to people that are going to bless you, or for people that you're supposed to bless. You understand what I mean? Now you're able to walk in rooms and use your voice, and your voice is going to matter, and teach others the gospel, spread it, and bring awareness to how good he is. Seriously. I was fearful of starting this channel, but now I realized that I didn't have faith that God will give me the strength or the courage, and I started it, and I feel so free now that I'm able to use my voice to spread positivity, to spread the gospel, to talk about the book, because these words, y'all, are the map. God's words are the map to life. It's the key to life. And having faith in him means that you trust him. You trust him. The moment that I started trusting him, I've seen a shift for the better. It can only get better. It doesn't get worse, I promise you. And the moment you place your full life and surrender it to him, that's telling him that I have faith in you. That's telling him that I believe in you. That's telling him that you actually are Yahweh and you do actually have it all figured out. I just have to obey, I have to be patient, and I have to remain in faith. There was a time when I was rolling trees, I had my Bible opened up, I had my notes from my therapist opened, and I was just crying. Just crying. I was just in a dark place, in a confused space. I felt very unsafe. And this was like year 2021. Long story short, my sister comes down. She just got home from work at the time. And she's like, God wanted me to tell you to remember that your middle name is Faith for a reason. And I was just like, oh my God, mid-roll, mind you. Mid-crying, she just came in and told me that. And I was just like, thank you. Like, I felt so much lighter in that moment. I said, I have to believe in God and really carry that word faith like it is a weighty word, because it is. And actually put the action behind it. Not just say, yeah, I know there's a God. Like, actually make sure that I'm moving in a way that shows him that I believe in him. So that was just a quick little testimony, I guess. But I know that it takes some time for faith to grow, but the Bible literally says that all you need is faith the size of a mustard seed, and that will grow, because the person who had faith 5 years ago is not the person who has that same type of faith. This faith has grown, and it has allowed me to use my voice. It has allowed me to love differently. It has allowed me to have a closer covenant and relationship with him. If you made it this far, I pray that nothing stops you from growing your faith, and nothing stops you from your relationship with Christ. Continue to lean on him and quiet the noise. The distractions are there to do exactly that, distract. Leave a like, leave a comment, and click subscribe and put on your post notification bells. Until next time.